But then I started getting into macrobiotic. So if anyone like doesn't really know what that means, macrobiotic is more of like a lifestyle choice and philosophy around food, as well as like quite woo-woo stuff like cosmos and universe, and, you know, all that stuff. So we talk a lot about energy of food, yin and yang. Of course, there's like a eating guideline, which is mostly plant-based. But, you know, it's not like veganism or plant-based or paleo or anything like that. It's just that they don't say this is bad or this is bad. There's no bad food or good food. It's just more that we have to, what they say, that the teaching is more of that understanding of the energetic of the food. So, for example, like animal food contains a lot of energy, like it's more yang, it's more contractive, it's more aggressive, it's more masculine energy. But then when you compare, like say, fruit, it's more yin, it's more watery, more feminine, more expansive energy. It's not that like you can't say, oh, this is yin and this is yang. It's more of the comparison. So, for example, like say, if you're comparing chicken and carrot, then carrot will be more yin because it's more it's vegetables, less dense. But then when you're comparing carrot to, say, lettuce will be more yin because it's more light, because I suppose carrot is a root vegetable, so it's more concentrated in energy. And lettuce grows upwards, you know, so that's more expensive. And that applies to, you know, the food that you eat, the feelings that you get, the conversation that you have, the thoughts that you have. You know, everything is energy, I suppose, if you believe that. So when you consume food or your thoughts and all these things, it becomes part of you and it changes the state of mind. So what macrobiotic teaching recommends is to have more kind of neutral way of living. So, you know, like say, a lot of Zen Buddhism talk quite a lot about that, like extreme happiness or extreme sadness or extreme aggressiveness. It's not recommended. You want to be more stable and calm. So with macrobiotic, it's kind of a similar idea. Like you don't want to have extreme yin or extreme yang. So when you start kind of thinking that, it's quite interesting, like how even without us knowing about those energies, we kind of tend to do that when you're actually in tune. Like, for example, when you're really stressed, like straight after work, your energy is really yang, that's really contracted. You're quite aggressive. You've got this masculine energy, and what you want to do is to relax, and what you reach out for would be something like a glass of wine, right? Or like a piece of chocolate cake, because there's so more yin. So your body is kind of like your body is trying to balance itself without us kind of knowing. But then when you're talking about, it's like seesaw. If you do extreme yang and a yin and all the time, the things will start breaking. So it's okay it's most important thing is to know like your state of mind. Like you realize, okay, you're really contracted, you're like stressed. So are you going to go for one glass of wine, or are you going to go for 2 and 3? You know, and are you going to go for refined sugar chocolate cake, or are you going to go for like cake that's made with like whole food and natural sugar, or dates, or just fruit? Or are you just going to not go for the food to expand your energy and relax? Or are you going to do maybe some other, way of relaxing, like self-care, meditation, having a bath? I think when you start just stopping and then just decide consciously, and it's okay to have like cakes if that's what you choose to do, but then it's always like whatever you do is energetic and there's consequences. And I think when you start like living like that, then you're not like just living mindlessly, and that applies to any food. And so I love this concept of macrobiotic, that there's no good food or bad food. It's just more of like eating consciously, and the nature, or like everything we consume, is one. Like we are nature. So that's kind of how I started getting into this like energies and herbs and like, I suppose food as medicine kind of